been a while since I sat in front of you in a good mood, so it seems like forever. We're proud of our guys. I thought we competed and were able to defensively kind of set the tone. Nebraska, give them a lot of credit. They spread you out. Fred does a great job of putting his pieces in places where they really spread you out and make it difficult for you to guard because of the space on the floor you have to guard. So give them credit. It's going to be a heck of a challenge for us back at their place here towards the latter part of the season. But proud of our guys. A lot of guys stepped up. Really proud of Andre, kind of giving us some life there early with those made shots. He's played like a senior, and it was not a perfect game. There's errors that we made that we got to clean up. Attention to detail stuff we have to get better at. But it's certainly good to get a win and move forward.
Chris, coming into the game, obviously shorthanded with the suspensions today. What message do you want those players and the rest of the players that aren't suspended to take from what has transpired?
Obviously, Duane and Luther were suspended for tonight's game. I don't know that there's a specific message. It's just like, I'm not coaching for just one game, ever. I'm not ever doing that. I'm not ever coaching just to win one game or put our best team on the floor for one game. They're more important to me than that, and it's more important to me than that. And if I ever get to the point to where I coach just for one game, I'm getting out. See ya. Peace out. I'm not doing it. So for me, it's bigger than that. It's just bigger than that. It's bigger than that for them. It's bigger than that for me.
What do you need to see to feel confident putting them back in the game, putting them back in the rotation? What needs to happen between now and whenever they get back on the court?
It'll be kind of a day-to-day thing that we'll evaluate day-to-day, and we'll keep that in-house. But they had a great attitude. They were supporting their teammates in the locker room. They had a great approach.
This is the first time in a while you've gotten consistent output from both DJ Carton and EJ Liddell. As they've gone through this rough patch, what's been your message to them, and then how does it feel to see them both produce tonight?
Don't define your game by your offense. I think that's hard for freshmen. If your game's defined, your effort's defined by just your offense, you're going to really struggle. I think all of them are still learning that, all of our freshmen, because they've been defined by offense for the better part of the last few years. So they've got to define their team by how their team's performing when they're out there, or define their play, get value in their play by how their team's performing. You're right, both freshmen gave us good minutes, as did Zoe, as did Justin and Danny. I thought Danny gave us some good minutes.
So Luther and Duane could return Saturday, yet to be determined?
Yeah.
When did you make the decision?
Fine.
If we had asked you yesterday, would it have been made yesterday or not?
I had not made the final decision. I was leaning in that direction for sure, but I just hadn't made the final decision.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah. You have, I think, indicated in the past that that's not your personal favorite sport coat. Was this a I'll try anything to get a win fashion moment for you?
This was my rally coat. This was my rally coat. I went in there this morning, said, Lori, I think I gotta wear the coat.
That's
Okay?
from, refresh my memory. That one's,
This coat?
yeah, you've worn it before on.
I wore it just for the throwback occasion over in St. John Arena, and I knew the news was going to come out about a couple of our players, and I did in some ways I wanted our guys to play bold and free. And listen, for a guy that dresses pretty conservatively, this is as bold and free as I get.
And Coach, when you brought CJ Walker in way back as a transfer, is this kind of the performance you were looking for? And you mentioned yesterday how he's running the offense really well. What do you feel like for him?
I did not think he played well in the first half. I thought he really struggled opening with tying his shoelaces there. He's an older guy. He's got to be better than that. He's got to be better at making some of the decisions he made early. And I thought at times he was forcing the issue with his offense too much. Second half, I thought he really played well. Good defensively, let it come to him more.
And he played 37 minutes, I believe. Do you see him kind of get into a rhythm with extended playing time, staying out on the floor longer?
Yeah, we'll see. It was a different game, obviously, with being shorthanded, so I don't think he'll average 37 minutes. But again, I thought his play in the second half and leadership was really good.
Chris, you talk a lot about process and you're sort of thinking at the very beginning. Who on your team has the best grasp of that right now? Or who can you, I don't know if turn to is the right word, but point to and say, like, this guy's got it, follow him?
I think, our captains are Andre, CJ, Kyle, and Caleb. But I would just probably say, I think Andre. I think he's got the best understanding of what is needed to win and what it looks like. Is he perfect? No, but he does a lot of things really well. He cares about winning, and more importantly, I think that's it. When I got into coaching way back, and my old AD, who was a former coach at Butler, said freshmen just want to win, sophomores want to start, juniors want to score 20 points, and seniors just want to win. And he's in that place, so he understands the process. He understands all that goes into it, and we need his leadership this last stretch. We'll go really as those guys lead us.
And I guess along those lines, you guys made some shots tonight. I'm sure they were very happy to see that. You won a game by a decent margin, played well for the most part. Doesn't guarantee you anything moving forward. Now you go on the road. What's your confidence level that your team understands that you didn't fix everything tonight? You just you played well, you won a game, but you got to keep building.
Well, I tried to make that point without, with also letting them enjoy tonight. And I told them it was great to see smiles on their faces, but we need to play better in certain areas. And I think we all understand what we're going to see on Saturday in terms of that environment, and that is motivated as Penn State will be, and a really good team. So I think it's a message I got to continue to communicate the rest of this week, to be honest with you.
Dovetailing on that, offensively, is it as simple as shots were going in tonight? What did you see that created the 54% shooting? Was it maybe
Better
shots
ball.
that you've been missing, or what did you see?
Better ball movement, a little bit better ball movement. Ball didn't stick as much, and we did make shots. But I would say overall, a little bit better ball movement. I think this is something I would point to. I thought it just moved a little quicker, and we were able to attack them in ways and get to the paint more than we had in the previous games.
And you also had 6 guys in double figures. Is that what you need to see? I mean, how valuable is that when you get more guys involved?
Yeah, it is. In this league, you got to win games in the 50s when you might have one guy who has 20 and everybody's 30 points is spread out or whatever. You got to win games different ways. But I still think we as a group, we feed a little bit on how we perform offensively, and I think that we've got to get better at that area. I've got to coach that better, because I think we play with more life when we're scoring points. Most teams do, but that can't be what we're just about.
Coach, on the line, Andre, again, you've been here for 3 years now. When you look at his progression as a shooter, what have you seen over the last 3 years? He's shooting 44% this year.
A lot of work, and really disciplined work before and after practice. If you were to watch him in practice, you would see he shoots the same shot every time, and his technique is impeccable. And I think that's a lesson. He doesn't go out there, and it's not like he's going out after practice and he's just kind of playing around. It's very disciplined, detailed work with the shooting, and it's paid dividends. It really has.
You said before the season that he was one of the people who the new line didn't affect him. He was one of the better shooters. Is what you saw then, is that what we're seeing right now as far as the way he's shot the ball?
Yeah, I don't think it'll affect him. It has affected some guys, guys that use their legs a little bit more, but he's strong. I think in some way it's affected almost everybody a little bit, but he's got good balance when he's open, and he's starting to understand kind of when he needs to be ready to shoot. His preparation's been better.
You were talking about the other day about having to balance letting guys play free and also trying to maybe overcoach when things aren't going well offensively. When you're shorthanded like you were tonight, did you have to coach more because you had some guys that you hadn't seen as much, or guys in different positions? Did you find yourself having to manage more play-by-play than you have before?
Maybe, but I think that's what we're going to have to continue to do throughout the season. I did probably feel that a little bit more, but I think we're going to have to do that throughout the season.
You guys threw a decent amount of zone at them. Was some of that game plan? I know they like to spread teams and drive, and was some of it also brought on by the fact you only had 2 scholarship
It
guards
was
available?
that. It was more switching than zone. It was a little more switching man-to-man than it was zone, Adam. But we did feel like because our lack of depth, we were going to have to play a little bit different defensively.
I'm gonna resist the temptation to ask you about the Danny Hummer, Alonzo Gaffney lineup, if you wanna stick with that, but back to Bill's question on, like, kind of getting your culture, with Andre. I don't wanna make an incorrect generalization, but do you find that it is more common for the non-5-star talent to be more apt to buy into the team concept stuff than
I think that would be a general assumption. There's probably some truth to that, but it really depends on the kid. But I do think it's probably a safe assumption to make. But I think in a lot of cases it depends on the kid, honestly.
Carton's 4 game tonight, 2 turnovers, 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you see progress in areas, or was he caught up in the vortex of a night where things generally went well for everyone and you don't want to read too much into it?
I thought he was a little more under control. Listen, he's bothered by his turnovers. He's a young kid, and he gets bothered when he makes mistakes, and too bothered, to be honest with you. I've got to work with him on that. He's not going to play perfect. He's trying hard. He's doing his best. As long as he embraces what we're trying to coach him to do relative to his turnovers, and as long as he's listening, that's all we expect. He's going to make some turnovers. He's a young guy that we've asked to kind of be aggressive and make plays. But this was a good step for him. It was a different defense tonight than what he's seen. A little more, they don't turn you over a whole lot. So now he's got to see how he can do moving forward against Penn State.
Was there any concern about the timing of the suspensions, kind of like how the locker room would respond, especially like added to the elements of coming into this game with trying to snap a 4-game losing streak?
Yeah.
Especially with the younger players.
Sure. Yeah, the timing was not great, and it was not. I think we would all, who wants to hear bad news after you've lost a few? The timing was not good. It did not factor in my decision one bit.
And how do you think like the Denver guys in the locker room kind of responded to that?
I don't know. You have to ask them. I don't know. I don't know what message they took from it or didn't take from it. And it wasn't necessarily a message to be sent. It was just a decision I felt like was best for our team and our program.
That early game stretch with Andre that you referenced, and you also said that this is a team that thrives upon when you make shots, then you can get on runs. How much did that sort of change the game just right out of the gate and send it down a path that it went on?
It gave us a big jolt of confidence. I mean, a big jolt of confidence, because we didn't have a good first couple possessions there, to say the least. So it gave us, I think that's the biggest thing, it just gave us a jolt of confidence that really you expect. I mean, his third shot was really tough, but you expect the senior to do that. You do.
Is it tough then when you only have one senior and it's this
Yeah.
time of the year? And I mean, you talk about that you follow the veterans in these moments. You only have one senior. And you have 700,000.
Yeah, it makes a difference. Listen, there's no, and I've realized that every year in coaching, that, our first year here, we had a fourth-year senior, we had a fourth-year junior, and 2 fifth-year seniors. makes a difference. It makes a significant difference, just in particularly this time of year. But listen, we've got to get those younger guys older, and we've got to rely on the age that we do have, right, age and experience that we do have right now, and particularly those four guys I talked about.
You talk about how you guys will go as your leadership goes with your older guys, but it seems like it's kind of obvious when your backcourt plays well, you guys are going to play well offensively. Do you feel like that's how it's going to be the rest of the way? If CJ and DJ can kind of not like carry you offensively, but show that they're not going to turn the ball over, they're going to be really sound in the way they score and get good shots.
I think it's critical for us. I think we've all felt like that at the beginning of the year. I think our backcourt play is critical for us. You kind of know what you're going to get from certain guys on most nights, like Caleb and Andre and Kyle. Maybe they'll have a bad game, a great game, whatever. But I think our guard play is critical.
When you have that dynamic where one of your offenses is big and Caleb,
Yeah.
but you have to kind of go as the guards go. Is that an odd dynamic to have the way this team's set up right now?
Yeah, I think we're still looking to figure out kind of where that, second, third option is going to be consistently. Dre's really shown the ability to do that. But yeah, it's different. It's different, but it's been good. He's our best player. We're going to play through him.
When you played DJ 38 minutes, what's it like the next couple days getting him ready for the next game? Is there like not a load management as far as
He's
practice,
19.
but
He's 19.
is there like a fear like hitting like a fresh football almost?
He's 19. That's a good question, but no, he'll be fine.
You were mentioning the way the ball moved tonight. It seemed like you guys were cutting off the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
For the most part. I don't know,
Yeah.
was that point of emphasis, just the way they guard you? Like, how did
Yes.
that come about?
I think we got to get better at cutting. It was a point of emphasis, both with how they defended, and I think we got to get better at cutting. Just in general, it was definitely a point of emphasis.
And then, I don't believe I saw Justice on the bench. Is there anything on with
Yeah,
that?
thank you for bringing that up. Justice had surgery today on his ankle, foot, kind of foot ankle. The timeline, I don't want to get specifics on the timeline, but we believe it could be, 3 to 4 months. So surgery went really well. We're thinking about him. That's where he was at. He was recovering from surgery, flew his dad in. But he'll be fine for a healthy offseason.
Chris, we've all drawn the comparisons between this year and last year.
Uh-huh.
Ironically enough, tonight you stop a 4-game skid, much like you did last season with a 5-game skid, with a win against Nebraska. With a win like this, though, everything that's gone on with this season and almost being comparable to last season, have you gotten to a point where you're almost tearing your hair out? You've gotten fed up with maybe the attitude of where your team is at this year as compared to where it was last year about this time?
I don't know that I'm pulling my hair out or anything like that. I think, have there been some challenging times and trying times? Sure. But I love our guys. I love our group. I just think there's so much basketball left, and it's not the end of like the ups and downs. I'm just anxious to see how we've had some better practices here of late. I'm anxious to see if that continues, and I'm anxious to see collectively what our approach and attitude is consistently. I think when I see that, and when we see that consistently and feel good about that, then I'll live with the results.
Yeah, seeing as how, things played out last year, has it ever gotten to that point for you or occurred to you, like, I don't want it to get, not to say that last year was all that bad, but it could have been better, I'm sure, in your eyes. But has it ever gotten to that point this year where you're like, I don't want it to necessarily get to that point? Maybe the suspensions tonight, was that kind of a wake-up call sent to the guys, like, hey, let's.
That was more related to a specific off-the-floor incident, but I see where you're going there, like trying to get ahead of it. But no, I'm not. I understand the comparisons, January, same month, all those kind of things. But I've not really tried to focus, and I've not really thought about last year versus this year. And we're younger this year than we were last year. I think we had senior guards last year. But I'm really concerned about just what this group's approach is moving forward.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
thanks.
thank you.
Thanks, Chris.